Hey, Coach Hoppa here from the DJCoach.com. I am super excited about today's lesson all about stems. Yes, that's right. There's been a lot of buzz in our industry around stems and this idea that you could separate out live the acapella and the instrumental in real time. This is phenomenal. It is such an advancement in technology for us to be able to do this. Before, you would have to go and get a separate instrumental or a separate acapella, and in fact, there were a lot of songs in which that didn't even exist. The next iteration of that were people were making their own acapellas and they were sort of doing this DIY style, and it was still not that great. So the fact that we have this and with literally the touch of a button, we can isolate the stem is awesome. I'm going to show you what stems are, how we can use them, and how we can implement them in the mix today. The first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show you where the stem panel is. So if we come over to the left-hand side, you'll see here are my hotkeys, and if I click over here, we'll see stems. So we'll see we've got vocal, melody, bass, and drums, and then we've got effects, vocal echo, effects, instrumental echo, basically all the echoes for our different sounds. I'm going to go ahead and load a track, and what you'll see is that we have the ability to isolate the stem here. So if I play, and let me actually get into the track with those vocals.
When will you come away? Stranger, I need you now.
So awesome.
Yeah, 'cause I'm ready for love, ready for love. Now, I need you
so good. Now the one thing I can't do is I cannot actually use the effects for each of these. It's grayed out. So you'll see that when I try to do that, it encourages me to upgrade to Serato DJ Pro, which that's a pretty cool feature. I'll show you what that is later. That is awesome. Like, this is not something that you could do this easily even a couple of months ago. So the fact that this is here is incredible. I highly, highly encourage you to check out stems. I also wanted to show you how we can use this in the mix. So let me show you that. Before I mix them together, I do want to show you a really cool feature, which is that the button that says slicer has now been replaced with stems. So even though I click on slicer, it will give me my 4 pads, and these 4 pads will represent the 4 pads for stems. Check it out. So cool. So much fun. You can have so much fun with stems. I highly encourage you to check it out. There is also a way to prepare your files ahead of time so that it generates the stems ahead of you even playing. And I want to show you that real quick. I can take a song of mine. In fact, actually, let's just take one of these tracks from Feel Good Vibes. Happy Afternoon. That sounds good. Let's drag that into stems. So I'm going to drag it into my stems folder. And you'll see in the stems folder, this is allowing this to prepare before you actually play the song. So you'll notice that it's grayed out right down here. And when it's ready to go, it'll turn white. So it takes a little while to do this. But the nice thing about doing this is that it doesn't put that type of load or strain on your laptop when you're playing live. So I would highly encourage this for songs that you know that you want to have stems available for. And you can see, even as I'm talking right now, it's taken a little bit of time to process, and then there it is. Now it's processed. So now when I load this onto the deck, it's ready to go. The stems are immediately ready to go. So it's not buffering, it's not putting any sort of extra load on my laptop. The other last thing I wanted to show you is I want to actually switch over to Serato DJ Pro and show you these effects. But before I do, actually, one other thing I should mention when it comes to light as well is if we go up to our settings, you'll also notice if we go over to our DJ preferences, we can analyze stems. So we can have that checked on. So analyzing stems on song load will speed up stem playback time, but will increase computer load and may have a performance impact. So depending on the type of computer you're using and how much RAM you have, this you may want to keep off so that it doesn't have any sort of performance issues when you're loading the track live. The other alternative, like I said, was to be able to load stems ahead of time. Okay, so check this out. Here we are inside of Serato DJ Pro. Now I also have the ability to echo out any of these stems. Check it out. Woo! So much fun. Don't mind me, I'll just be over here practicing. I'll see you guys next time.